Hello, Caroline.
Hello. Ooh, can you see me?
No.
Ah, perfect. Okay, great. This is why I started 10 minutes before, just to check.
Yes.
Um, right, okay, let me leave and I will come back.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm just jumping off another meeting, so I'm trying to get organized here, so apologies. I don't know how early you wanted us to sign in for this for tech run or
Oh, no problem. Yeah, normally it's just 10 minutes before, so you're perfect. Thank you.
good stuff. Thanks very much. Sorry, I'm just checking on my side here. It's one of those days I'm catching up with having a few days off recently as well, so it's all busy.
Yes, it seems like everybody's on holiday this week, even with our team, and that's why we've been passing things back and forth, and it's been really crazy, but we appreciate you guys being flexible with us too.
No, no problem. It's one of those things as well when you agree to do something and it was months ago,
Yeah.
and obviously I've seen again yeah a few times and we're talking about it, and then suddenly it's now. You know, where did the last
Yeah.
five months go that we agreed to do this? And it always becomes a rush at the last minute, doesn't it?
Always, yes.
Where are you based?
I'm in the US on the West Coast.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts?
I'm in Southern Oregon right now, but I live in Washington State.
Oh, nice, nice. I used to work in well San Francisco. I worked all over California, but I love Northern California, so it's closer to you. So.
Yes. Yes, it's very similar to Southern Oregon, but I love all of California. It's so many beautiful landscapes.
Hey, Carolyn, how's it going?
Hello. You can see me now, right?
Yes.
Well, I had to restart my laptop. It wasn't playing game.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
well.
You're sharing your screen, Carolyn. Yeah,
Yeah. Is that okay?
that's fine. That's fine. I've got mine set on the side as well, just so I can flick through my notes as well. So,
Okay, bro. Just give me a heads up when you want me to switch.
okay.
I'll drop Byron a line. Oh, he just sent me a message.
Also, I saw you'd sent over the questions for the poll that kind of goes in the back on the
Yes.
Zoom. But did we want to also? I'd sent over a list of questions as well. Like I didn't know if we wanted to preempt any questions, like for the panel afterwards, or I don't know whether
Yeah,
you.
I did see that. I think it's useful to have them in mind, but I didn't do anything with them.
We could just as an anonymous person, we could just add occasion like them into the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if we can be as an undercover spy or something.
Well, you can. You can put it as you can add a message. Just you don't need to associate it with your name. You can be
Okay.
anonymous on that. It's just if we wanted to or not. Depending, I guess we can play it by ear depending on how much, how confident we have in terms of questions coming in. Because sometimes people either they don't ask any questions or they leave it very last minute. So sometimes it helps to have a couple in the bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And I've on our last slide, I've got some email addresses as well. So if no one can think of something in the moment, they
Hmm.
can contact us later. Hi, Byron.
Hey, Byron. I was also thinking as well, if we prompt each other as we're through the slides to think on specific web links from our site. For example, when we're talking about the slide that I have on our supporting the ocean decade, we could just drop that link into the chat so people can
Yeah,
see
that's
it.
true.
And like if we talk about our awards and things like that, just drop the link of what those pages are, because then it just keeps people engaged with the direct web links.
Yeah, maybe if Byron could do that, just because otherwise, if I'm sharing my screen, I don't want it to just appear, like suddenly disappear.
Yeah,
Also,
cool.
Byron, your name is spelled incorrectly on your
It
Zoom
is. It
account.
is. Yeah. Let me try
It
and
says
fix that.
You're
Brian.
Brian.
Are you Brian or are you Byron?
I just can't spell my own name.
That's okay.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Okay, so I think that's great, and we normally do save some questions if we need to get the ball rolling like that. And
Mm.
if you want to do it anonymously, that's totally fine. If you want to send them to me to do it, I can too, but it doesn't really matter. So, um, that's great that you have some ready to go. And then I just wanted to ask, I see in the pre-webinar meeting notes that Carolyn, you wanted to start with the poll before I pass it to you to start your presentation.
Mm.
So I just wanted to make sure that poll was, I think it's the 5 questions of, well, I don't need to read all of them, but just the 5 questions. And because there's a note that says, like, there's another question, and I just want to see if it's like the first one is are general questions of where are you joining us from? Are
Yeah.
you an e-club? How do you interact with the ocean? Um, Before today, have you heard of learned institutes? And then how familiar are you with professional registration? Was there any more questions?
There was just the one at the end, I think, which was now that they've heard all of the offerings that we have, which of the resources are they most likely to use? But I think that's obviously better at the end.
At the end of everyone's presentation?
Yeah, if that's
Okay,
okay.
yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, just making sure that's all of them. Yeah, yeah, that's everything.
Okay, great.
I should have had my background as well, but I can't find my IMarEST one.
You're not got a whale one or something in your
Yeah,
pocket or something?
let me see.
Should I just share my screen as well to make sure that actually works?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Does that work? Can you see that?
Yes.
And if I put it into presentation, does that?
Perfect. Yep.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Maybe it works better if I do it like this. Yeah, because then it won't show my screen, it'll just show the PowerPoint. Is that in presentation mode as well?
This
Not
is
now.
not.
Now?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
All right, we'll give it another minute for people to join.
Oh, that's a good one, Nero. A good background. Oh, I'm nervous. People are already saying hello in the chat, which is lovely. All right. So I'll go ahead and get started with my introduction. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Amber Eaton, and I'm a coordinator for the Webinars Hub of the Capacity Development Task Team for the ECOP program. For those recently becoming familiar with ECOP, that stands for Early Career Ocean Professional. And this Webinars Hub was established in the early phase of the ECOP program to directly support capacity development under the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, which is from 2021 to 2030. Its creation responds to the recognized need for equitable access to knowledge, skills, and professional networks among ECOPs worldwide. The Hub's mission is to build knowledge, skills, and professional capacity across the ECOP community, enabling meaningful contributions to Ocean Decade outcomes. Central to this mission is the principle of inclusivity, ensuring that ECOPs, regardless of geographic location, sector, or background, can access high-quality training and mentoring opportunities. As part of the knowledge we want to share among future and current professionals, we developed a series of webinars that aim to train and inform this community of ocean lovers. If you'd like to join this community and attend more webinars like this one, please subscribe to our newsletter and follow ECOPS on LinkedIn and other social media like Instagram and Facebook to stay informed on upcoming events. And I'll go ahead and paste the link to our LinkedIn so people can follow that page. And we definitely post the promotions for all of our webinars on there. So let me just get that in the chat. Okay. And I love that everyone is already using the chat. We love to have interaction from our audience. So throughout the webinar, please feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. And if you have any questions for our speakers, please feel free to put those in the Q&A chat. And that is a separate chat from the main chat because we don't want the questions to get lost in everything else. So please put any questions that you'd like to discuss with the panelists in the Q&A chat. And then we're going to have some time after each presentation to go over those questions. And before we begin, I'd like to start off with a little introduction poll with a few questions to get to know the audience a bit. So I'll go ahead and launch that poll now. So please take a few minutes to answer these questions, these 5 questions on your screen, and then we can go over those results together.
Okay, we have some results coming in. Looks like we have some people joining from West Africa, East Africa, North America. That's where I am right now. South America, Europe, lots in Europe, Asia. And it looks like so far 92% of people here are in ECOP. And a lot of students here, which is great. And most people are not familiar with professional registration, so this will be a good one. Okay, looks like 42% of people are from Europe, so that's definitely the majority. Okay. Right, so we have about 52% of people are students or involved in academia right now. We have some conservation, environmental management people, policy and governance, education, outreach, and volunteering, and 20% in general interest and recreation. And 70% of people have not heard of learned institutes. So that's great. And 70% of people are not at all familiar with professional registration. All right, I'll go ahead and end this poll. Okay, so as we should know by now, in today's episode, we will learn about the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science, and Technology and their role in the UN Ocean Decade. And now I will hand it over to our first speaker, Caroline.
Hello, thank you very much for introducing us. So it's really interesting to hear the results of that poll, and so many people not knowing what a learned institution or professional registration is, but hopefully by the end of today, all of you will know what they are. So today is obviously myself speaking. We have Nero and Byron. Just go on to the next slide. Here we go. So, introducing the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology. We are a professional body and a registered charity, and we essentially represent all marine engineers, scientists, and technologists around the globe. We are the largest marine organisation of our kind, and we have around 12,500 members globally at the moment. There's a nice little graphic here on the side that describes sort of our purpose and our mission and looks at our values. So we really, really like to emphasize collaboration, community, integrity, and relevance. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in a second about how we ensure that we remain relevant. So here is just a little overview on our history as an institute. So we were founded in 1889. And we originally started out as just the Institute of Marine Engineers, but in just before the millennium, so in 1999, we expanded that to cover science and technology because we kind of realized they're all so interconnected that you can't really have engineering without science or technology to accompany it. So we now have a global presence. We have members that across America, Asia, Australia, pretty much every continent. And we also have an office in Singapore. And sort of our main goal now is to really emphasize collaboration, community, and to ensure that we are working for the benefit of the marine sector, the marine and maritime sectors. Oh, and I should also mention there's a picture of the Titanic there at the bottom. We also have a partner charity called the Guild of Benevolence, and they were founded after the sinking of the Titanic. So they do a lot of philanthropic work nowadays, and we'll speak a little bit more about funding and bursaries later on in the presentation. So this is the three core pillars of our strategy: marine community, technical voice, and global presence. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that global presence aspect first. This is a map of all of our different branches. So you may be thinking, what's the point in a branch? What even is a branch? So a branch is a local collection of engineers, scientists, and technologists within a certain area that come together, and the branch has a committee. And those committee members are members of the Institute, and they will put on webinars, they'll put on networking events, sometimes annual conferences. And they're really just to create that sense of community. And you can go to, these can be in person, they can be online. And a lot of the times they are connected with local learning institutions, so universities or cadet training centres or apprentice colleges. So we have around 50 of these globally. And like I said, we also have that office in red in Singapore. So this is sort of that technical voice aspect of the strategy. So these are the special interest groups, and this is sort of my area of the institute that I look after. I'm the technical and policy executive, so I look after these six. We call them six. And they are a wide range of various different subjects. So our members are engineers, they're scientists, they're technologists. That's not some homogenous group that necessarily all cover the same areas. So we have a wide variety, and this is not an exhaustive list. We currently have some more in the works being developed at the moment. And we're very lucky today to have with us the co-chair of one of these special interest groups, so Niru, who will be speaking later. He is the lead or co-lead of our Marine Mammals and Conservation Special Interest Group. So these groups come together for usually quarterly meetings in their committees, and they will produce webinars, technical outputs like white papers. They may also produce training resources for early careers as well. But we highly encourage early career members of our institute to get involved in these groups, because a key thing they also do is contribute to policy change. So we have global experts from every single corner of the earth, maybe talking on seafarer mental health or small ships or ship repair or marine mammal conservation. So that can be really, really vital in talking about providing technical leadership. So as an institution, we have statuses with various international organizations. As you can see on this sort of wheel I have on the side, we have observer status with a wide variety of those, including the IHO, GIZAMP, the International Oceanographic Commission, IPCC, a lot of different ones, UNCLOS as well, which, if you know, are the implementing body of the BBNJ agreement. So we also have two sort of unique statuses, consultative status with the International Maritime Organization. I'm not sure how many of you might have heard of this before, but if you have, that's great. But this is the one we have most interaction with, I would say. Our special interest groups, if you are a member of the Institute, you can attend meetings at these international organizations on behalf of the Institute. And this is really important because at the International Maritime Organization, it kind of works like the UN. You have member states who come to these meetings
And because they're representing their country, they may have attached political agendas. The role that we play is we represent people within the industry, people who are actually on the boat out at sea and doing the observing, or they're, transporting cargo, or whatever your job is within the maritime sector. They are the sort of legislative body. It's really important that we, as an institute, bring that industry perspective, and it's really valuable and it's taken on board in discussions. For example, last week we attended the Marine Environmental Protection Committee meeting, and we were able to help influence the greenhouse gas emission regulations that are going to be put into place to help with the future IMO net zero framework. So there's some really, really important things that you can contribute towards. And even if you're not comfortable attending one of those meetings, you can definitely help with supporting submissions or supporting papers that we will submit to those big organisations to really help drive change. So we really encourage early careers to come and get involved in this aspect of the Institute as well. You can also see in red, we have special consultative status with ECOSOC. ECOSOC allows us to attend big United Nations conferences, namely also the UN Ocean Conference and the UN Ocean Decade Conference that's coming up in next year, I think. So yes, you can see we collaborate with the IMO, with the Science Council, with the Engineering Council, and the Ocean Decade. And I think Byron will speak a little bit later on the Science Council and the Engineering Council. So that's me for the first sort of introduction. I'm just going to hand over to Niru. Niru is our ambassador, the IMarEST's ambassador to the Ocean Decade, and like I said, the co-chair of our Marine Mammals SIG. So I'll hand it over to Niru.
Thanks very much, Caroline. So hi everyone, and thanks very much for registering for today's event. It's great to have so many, and especially so many being represented throughout the world, just as our own institute is such global facing. So it's fantastic to see. So just a little bit of an introduction to myself, just to add on to what Caroline had kindly said as well. So my name is Niru Dorian. I'm also a marine ecologist and marine mammal specialist. I've got over 20 years experience internationally working across marine science, offshore ecology, environmental management and conservation. I'm a chartered marine scientist and a chartered scientist, which Byron will go into a little bit more in detail later. I'm also a fellow of the IMarEST and also of the British Ecological Society. I've been a member myself of the Institute of Marine Engineering, Science and Technology probably since 2008, so quite a long time, and I've been volunteering across so many areas of the Institute over the years, and as Caroline mentioned, I currently serve as the appointed ambassador to the UN Ocean Decade, and I was also just recently elected to council, where I help support the Institute's wider strategic direction and international engagement. This just shows kind of the breadth of opportunities as well that kind of can be presented within a professional body such as the IMarEST. And I'm also co-chair of the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group, as Caroline also mentioned, and I also sit on the IMarEST Awards Assessment Panel as well, and I contribute to several committees, initiatives, and support a variety of events from conferences, workshops, professional development activities, and much of this work is also provided on a pro bono voluntary basis as well. And I'm really passionate, obviously, about what I do and the work that I can lead on through the IMarEST and that platform that it can provide. The development of future professionals and strengthening collaboration across science, industry, and conservation is really a passion of mine. So it's great to be here today. Next slide, please. So just to kind of set the scene a little bit about the work we're doing with the UN Ocean Decade. So over the past several years, the IMarEST has significantly expanded our contribution to the UN Ocean Decade, and we do this through aligning our activities with Ocean Decade priorities across policy, professional development, capacity development, education, ocean science collaborations. And as part of this work, we've supported and delivered a growing portfolio of endorsed decade actions, which have focused on biodiversity protection, sustainable ocean management, skills development, and inclusive participation. We'll drop a little link as well if you want to find a little bit more on the work we're doing from our website as well. It gives us give you a run through of our endorsed actions and a variety of articles and publications that we put out in relation to the UN Ocean Decade. Next slide, please. So In terms of what we're working on as a Decade implementing partner, we are the largest professional body of its kind, as Carolyn mentioned also. And the IMarEST appointed the role of ambassadors when the Decade launched. And we have these aims and some priorities from catalyzing research and innovation, capacity building, knowledge sharing, engaging marine professionals as stewards of the ocean, and promoting professional practice and recognition of skills and competence. And a key thing that we're really passionate about is ensuring equity, inclusivity, and transparency across the marine sector, and undertaking advocacy at the highest level and growing participations globally. And a major milestone in this journey was IMarEST becoming formally recognised as a UN Decade implementing partner. And this recognition placed the Institute within this global network of organisations which are working obviously collaboratively to develop the Ocean Decade challenges, and particularly those focused on protecting ecosystems from biodiversity to supporting sustainable and equitable ocean economy and ensuring access to skills, knowledge and technology and participation for all. And our work has included supporting endorsed initiatives such as training programs. We've developed bursary schemes and marine mammal monitoring innovation projects. We're constantly working on capacity development programs and supporting those in partnership with other organizations. We've worked in Nigeria and Suriname on this. We provide a variety of extensive mentoring initiatives, and we present and organize a variety of events, international conferences and workshops that connect science, policy, industry and communities. As part of this effort, I've also had the privilege of serving as the ambassador to the UN Ocean Decade over the past 2 years, and really helping to strengthen partnerships and promote these endorsed activities and support collaboration across marine science, conservation, offshore industry and education. And together, these efforts are really helping deliver the science we need for the ocean we want. Next slide, please. So our engagement with the UN Ocean Decade, it continues to grow year by year, and we're obviously we've passed the halfway point of the decade itself, and that just really reinforces our convictions to keep going and try and contribute as much as we can. It's not necessarily the clock running out, but it's definitely it pushes us to really want to achieve as much as we can in that time frame. So we're always trying to mobilize our global marine community and engage our membership and our variety of special interest groups and our branches in our activities. And as the UN Decade reaches its midpoint here, we've really strengthened our role by connecting science, engineering and policy and industry and education to deliver these practical solutions. And our priorities remain focused. And so we've been attending, and we plan to attend more. So we attended the UN Ocean Decade Conference in Barcelona in 2024, where we co-hosted a variety of activities. We attended the UN Ocean Conference in Nice last year, again, where we supported and ran a variety of engagements as well. We presented at the British Ecological Society Conference in December last year, the European Station Society Conference this year, Ocean Sciences meeting as well this year, and also we plan to attend and participate in the UN Ocean Decade, the UN Ocean Decade Conference in Rio in 2027 as well. And these are just really very, very snapshot examples. We're continually engaging across a variety of other events as well, and organizing our own internal workshops, seminars, engaging with university programs as well to get as much support as we can out there for the Ocean Decade. Next slide, please. So just in terms to go through the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group and give you a little bit of an introduction into the work we do there. So the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group we founded in 2020. We have currently over 21 active committee members. We've got a very busy and engaged 567 members in our special interest group as well. We're a very active group. We love supporting and putting outputs out there. We're promoting knowledge exchange, collaboration and capacity development, and advocating advancements in marine mammal science and innovation. And we do this through a variety of outputs, from science communication and media articles. We publish quite a lot, whether it's in our own publication magazine, The Marine Professional, or whether it's putting out a variety of blogs or collaborating with other professional institutes to get that messaging across. We provide career support and mentoring. We do this. We've got a marine mammal career guide, which is available. You can download online for free as well. We produce our special interest group biennial reports. We've just produced our latest one. You can catch up on what we've been doing the last 2 years and also see the previous 2 years as well. We have industry publications. We had our IMarEST and DEFRA, Marine Natural Capital Ecosystem Assessment Program collaborative project, which was on marine mammal monitoring innovation. We published that last year, which is available to download for free as well if you're interested in learning more about marine mammal monitoring and the technologies involved in that and the science behind it. We are constantly working on a variety of really engaging outputs as well. We just recently published our Navigating with Nature white paper. That's again also available to download as well. So there's so much that's just even one of our special interest groups is providing. So marine mammals might not be your area of interest, but it just goes to show that when you're involved in a professional body and you're involved in a special interest group, these are the types of things that you could be working on and collaborating on. Some of them might even provide some remuneration, some of them it might be pro bono, but it just goes to show that there's a lot of opportunities, networking, and really great benefits that you can attain from being part of a professional body like this. So I just want, next slide, I just want to kind of go through a few examples of our decade endorsed actions. So decade endorsed actions are when we receive an endorsement from the UN Ocean Decade. This basically it demonstrates how we've aligned our activities, whether it's a training program we've developed, how we've tried to meet the challenges of the Ocean Decade. And it's a great way to recognize our efforts there, and as well as to provide more awareness to these opportunities internationally as well. So I'll go through a few examples. Next slide, please. So just to give an example from a bursaries aspect. So financial barriers, we all can appreciate this. They remain one of the most persistent obstacles for people to access opportunities. And we've established bursaries and a variety of other programs as well, so the opportunity is not always limited by income or background. And these are really designed to help support professional development in marine science. So we've got a few just examples here. So we run the Marine Mammal Observer Association, IMarEST, Marine Mammal Observer Bursary, and this was created to support the development of ECOPs working in the Marine Mammal Observer and Marine Mammal Mitigation and Monitoring sector. There's information on these that you'll be able to see from our website. You can get more information on specifics of these bursaries. This bursary, for example, has been running for 2 years now, and there's just been a wonderful examples of how that money has been applied to help professionally develop these young consultants as ECOPs, and how they've used these opportunities to get further experience or training programs they've been able to help to top up their CVs. We also have the Bill Loff Ocean Decade Award, and that's aimed to encourage research and development that explore transformative solutions for sustainable development in the ocean. You can get more information on that from the site as well. And we'll try and keep providing some links to these as it goes on, and you'll be able to see and see for yourself these types of opportunities that come with being a member. Next slide, please. So this is to talk about really the ESB MMO training program. So this is a capacity development program, and it's an industry-leading and award-winning capacity development initiative, and it was designed to build national capability in marine mammal monitoring in Ireland. It was created to respond to a clear skills gap within the offshore environmental sector, and to provide early career scientists with realistic and fully supported pathways into offshore ecology. The program, it was endorsed by the UN Ocean Decade and offers fully funded training each year for a small, carefully selected cohort of experienced candidates. Participants receive accredited MMO training. This is Marine Mammal Observer training, offshore survival certifications to be able to work offshore, medical clearance certifications, and practical field experience on board the Celtic Mist research vessel from the Irish Whale and Dolphin Group. They also receive 1 year professional development support for memberships with IMarEST and the Marine Mammal Observers Association, and also the Irish Whale and Dolphin Group themselves. This program, it reduced financial barriers, increases access to specialist training, and strengthens Ireland's capacity to develop offshore renewable energy development in a responsible, environmentally informed way. And it represents a strong example of how industry investment can directly contribute to skills development, equitable access, and long-term capability in marine mammal science. And IMarEST is very proud to be a delivery partner on this program, which has now been running for 3 years and has seen 16 early career ocean professionals go on their journey and be able to be propelled into an offshore consulting role to support environmental protection in Ireland, where there was a skills gap. There wasn't enough local people who were able to work in that area. So this is just reinforcing that, and it's just a really great program. So just want to talk about how that inspired potentially other programs as well, and that's collaborative aspect of the UN Ocean Decade. and the work we're doing with IMarEST here. So with the ESBMMO training program, it showed how one initiative can create wider positive impacts. And its success in Ireland inspired the Empowering Nigeria program, developed by my colleagues Daniela Bordon and Morgana Alvarenga at BGP Oceans. And together, and in partnership with several other delivery partners, including IMarEST, we were able to adapt the model, and we were able to train 20 Nigerian marine and biological science students and graduates and upskill marine fauna mitigation and monitoring, giving them real opportunities to apply their skills offshore. And this collaborative work then inspired a second UN Ocean Decade endorsed initiative, which was the World Ocean Week Suriname last year, which focused on ocean literacy and community engagement. And both programs, aligned with the Ocean Decades, aim to build skills, knowledge, and participation for all. And these projects show how just effective capacity development can create meaningful ripples across regions and communities, improve equity. And at the IMarEST being the center of these as well, it's just fantastic that we're able to help network and create these opportunities and support programs like that, whether they're led by us or they're supported by us as delivery partners. So there we go. And that's all from me for now. So looking forward to hearing more from Byron next.
Hi everyone, should I just jump in now, Caroline? Yeah. I'm Byron. I work in the membership team. So if you were to apply for a membership of any level, it would be me or someone in the team that you'd be dealing with. So I'm here to talk about the different membership levels available, the benefits of membership, and how you can apply. Because for all the benefits that the guys spoke about before and all the cool stuff that we do, you do need to be a member at some level to get involved in. So we're going to go through starting from student, working up to fellow with a bit of detail on each one. And then we'll talk about professional registration and other benefits as well. So we'll start with student membership. That's free. So if you are a student, I would recommend signing up now. I'm just going to put a link to join in the chat now. Or Neri, could you do that for me while I'm talking? But basically, the student membership will give you access to all the same, most of the same benefits that you get with a full membership, but you don't have to pay for it. The application process is super easy. You go in, you don't need to upload any documents. You just fill in some details about yourself, what you're studying, where you're studying, or if you're a cadet. And then it's done. That's it. Nothing to pay. And you're a student member. It lasts for a year. You do need to reach us out to renew if you're still studying. But free, and you get access to benefits like journals, papers, stuff that can help you with your degrees or the courses that you're on. So really would recommend that. Can I get the next slide, please, Caroline? Then you can move on when you graduate or you finish your cadetship or your apprenticeship. You can move over to the early careers associate scheme. The idea of this is to help you get into the industry, give you that boost. You get the associate post nominals, and you can describe yourself as an associate of the IMarEST, which is good on the CV. You can attend networking events, so you get all these benefits. And the big benefit of this one is it's a tiered price system for the course of 5 years from when you graduate. So the first year is the cheapest it will be. Then the second year it goes up and up until the fifth year when you pay full price for your associate membership. We don't have a slide on fees, so I'm going to talk about it now for a little bit. And I'm sure if there's any questions after, we can help as well. The big thing to say about fees is because we are a global institute and we're trying to be as open and accessible to all as possible, there are three different groups which countries are put into based on the country's economy. And those groups, the cost for membership will vary between those groups. So you have Group A, where the cost is the highest it will be, and Group C is where it'll be a lot cheaper. And these groups are also available for the early careers associates, so that you still get the discount with an early career associate, and you'll be in the group of the country that you're in. It's important to mention that the group is based on the country that you put yourself in as where your residential address is, where you're living, not the country that you're from. So wherever you sign up to receive the marine professional and your postal address, that'll be where the fees are based on. Can I get the next slide, please, Caroline? This is associate member. So when you're on the early careers associate, you're paying for a cheaper version of the associate membership. But when you finish that, you move automatically onto the associate membership. Here you can apply for your first registrations. You can apply for EngTech and MarTech. MarTech is for the scientists and technologists, whereas EngTech is for the engineers, and we'll go into a bit more detail on registrations later on. But this is where you can start applying for different levels of registration. It mentions 3 years of experience on the slide there. That's more of a guide. Really, this is for anyone who's just starting out in their career. There's a few little job titles there you can look at to get a bit of an idea. The 3 year is not a rule, so if you're less than 3 years in the industry, you can still apply and you might still get it. It's just a helpful guide. And there's a few of those on each slide for the different membership grades, but it's important to note that that's not a rule, it's just a guide. Um, Here, we always recommend that even as a student, you track your CPD, but here, when you're an associate, this is where you can access the CPD hub and start tracking your CPD, and it gets you in the right track for the rest of your career. So this is where we recommend you definitely start tracking CPD that you do in the IMarEST CPD hub, which we'll go into a bit more detail on later. Applications for this are also quite easy. You apply with a CV, any relevant academic certificates, and you need a referee for this. You don't need a referee for student membership. You need a referee for associate member and fellow, which we'll go into in a bit later. Um, the referee doesn't have to be a member of the IMarEST. It helps if they are, but they don't need to be. It's just a professional referee, so it can't be a family member. It's got to be somebody who knows you professionally, like a mentor or a tutor or maybe a line manager. Can I get the next slide, please, Caroline? Member grade. This is our most people who are with the IMarEST are members. It's a really prestigious membership grade. This is to highlight that you've reached a significant point in your career. You're probably managing teams or dealing with internal and external stakeholders and making a real difference in the industry. Again, we say 5 years in the industry, but again, that's just a guide. It's more of the impact that you've made and where you are with your career. Here you can apply for all forms of registration. That's chartered engineer, chartered scientist, incorporated engineer, or registered scientist, and the ones that you could apply with for when you're an associate as well. And we'll go into detail on those. Um, this one, the application process is the same as when you apply for associate. And these applications are actually reviewed by us and the executive team, so they're really quick. We usually give about a week, 2 weeks lead time on them. So they'll come in when you apply. We look at it in the team, we fill in a form, and then you are a member so long as you hit the criteria. So it's a nice, quick, easy application process, and the idea there is to make it simple and easy for you to join. Um, You'll then be able to describe yourself as a member of the IMarEST, use the MI-MarEST post-nominals. Looks really good on the CV, shows your commitment to your professionalism, and helps with job applications, or where if you're a consultant, it shows that you're at a certain level in your career. Can I get the next slide, Caroline? Fellow, I'll briefly go over this because we've just recently got a new standard, but I think a lot of students were signing up to this, so this will be a few years away. But Fellow is the most prestigious award you can get, or red membership you can get from the IMarEST. The application process is not reviewed by us and the executive team; it's peer reviewed, and it shows that you have made a significant and meaningful impact to the industry. To apply for this, you need to have either another fellow of the IMarEST or another fellow of a different institute as your referee, and they need to write a statement about how you meet the criteria. You also have to pick there are 7 criteria, stuff like business development, development of others, research and development, and others. And you have to pick 2 or 3 of those and write about how you think you meet the criteria for those. It's then assessed by 2 fellows of the IMarEST on a panel, and then you're given your outcome. This will be a few years down the line for most of you, but this is the pinnacle of your career here. That's what it's meant to highlight. Can I get the next slide, please? So we're going to talk about other benefits later, but this is probably the main benefit of joining a professional institute like the IMarEST is both the membership and the registrations. We offer a load of them. Here I'm going to go into the different application processes for it because we'll talk about why you want to get registered in the next slide. But for each of these, the application process is kind of similar, but there are a few differences. So at the top, you've got chartered marine scientist and chartered engineer and chartered scientist. It's important to point out here that we are allowed to give chartered scientist and chartered engineer from councils in the UK called the Science Council and the Engineering Council. And chartered engineer and chartered scientists are globally recognized registrations that show you're at a certain standard in your career. You're working at a chartered standard, which is the highest standard you can achieve. And the idea of these is that it standardizes what you've been doing because a lot of different roles and a lot of different a lot of different industries have lingos, and it makes it hard to understand what someone's doing or what level they're at. And we always use the Navy as an example. They do really amazing work there, but when you hear them talk about it, you don't really understand what they're talking about because they use their own, it's almost like their own language. So this standardizes it. You are working at a chartered level. The application process for this is you can send in an application similar to the membership one. You have to write about how you meet certain competencies, which are given to us from the Science Council and the Engineering Council. Then it'll be reviewed again by peers who will see if you meet these competencies and the academic requirements as well. Then, if you are accepted that far, you go forward for an interview. You go forward for an interview. And again, the interview is peer-led, so you will be interviewed by two chartered scientists if you're going for chartered scientist, or you'll be interviewed by two chartered engineers if you're going for chartered engineer. And that's one of the big benefits that we talk about in the next thing, that it's peer reviewed. It's not done by us and the executive team, it's by other people in your field who then say you're at that level. Incorporated engineer and registered scientist, again, you need to interview the applications basically the same. The competencies are slightly different that you have to hit. So chartered is, you're going to be leading teams, you're going to be making innovative changes, dealing with external stakeholders and big projects and big budgets. Incorporated's a bit earlier on in the career. You'll be given tasks to do, but there'll be complex tasks, and you'll be working at a high standard, but just below that chartered standard. And then the ones at the bottom, the technicians and the technicians and the technologists, these are very early in your career. You might have just graduated and you're working, looking to show that you're working at a certain level. And these are all really good CPD as well when you're applying for registrations, because you have to set a goal, you have to work, you have to do an interview, you have to write the whole application. And it's a good opportunity to, talk about yourself, talk about how good you've been doing. And it's a good process overall. The interviews are always, they sound like a daunting thing, but they're really not. The assessors are usually interested actually in your career because, they've probably done something similar, or you might be working in a field that's not quite theirs and they want to learn more. So usually the feedback we get, the interview process is actually really good. For the technologist and the technician, you actually don't need to interview. The first assessment's enough. It's just when you get higher up the scale, that's when you need that second step, that interview. And I've mentioned the Science Council and the Engineering Council. We are actually one of the only institutes that have our own registers as well. So when you apply for a chartered engineer or chartered scientist, you are also assessed for a chartered marine engineer and a chartered marine scientist. So that's another set of post-nominals you can get added after your name on your CV, and it's another register that you can be added into at the same time. So it's the same application process. You just get both at the same time. Can I get the next slide, please, Caroline? These are the benefits of professional registration. I think I've touched on a few of them in the last slide. So the big one that we usually say is, it's peer reviewed. It's not done by us. It's done by people within the industry who are in the know, and they say, wow, look, you are at a chartered level, or you are at an incorporated or registered level. The work you're doing is good. It standardizes what you've been doing. It's against a global standard, so it's globally recognized as well. A chartered engineer is a title that carries across the world and can help you with your career, can help you if you're a consultant with getting clients. So those are the big benefits. It looks really good for your CV, obviously, and it shows that you are competent and you are committed to your profession. And that will be, that will show to everyone in the industry. Can I get the next slide, please? These are a list of other benefits. We go into a few of them in the next slides, but these are the other benefits we offer outside of professional registration. So events, which Neera's talked a little bit about. So we had our annual dinner a few weeks ago. Good networking events. You can go and you get papers published and speak at these events and present at these events. Really good CPD. Looks good. You can get that publicity as well. We have the Marine Professional, which is a quarterly magazine that we produce. Again, really good CPD. If you read that, you can and reflect on it. That's an hour of CPD that you can put on the CPD platform that we're going to talk about a little bit later, and that'll look really good. We've got IMarEST TV, which all our webinars and things that are done will be stored on there. So if you can't attend one, you can watch one on IMarEST TV. Um, we have our mentoring platform on there, which we go into on another slide, so I won't put too much detail into yet, but it's brand new. We have Marine Jobs. This has just been taken back over by the IMarEST, and on there you can look for jobs within the industry that are posted by large companies like Fugro. So that's another thing we have with the Marine Jobs platform. It's good to point out that that's actually one of the only benefits that you can access without being a member. You can just go and look at that. So that is something you can look at anyway. We obviously have our own website with everything on it, the digital archives, the books, the journals, and Connect, which is kind of like Twitter, but for for the marine industry. And it's really good. If you're looking to get research for no, if you're looking to get a survey done for any research you're doing, you can post on there and everyone will see it. Or if you're looking for help and assistance with something, you can post on there, and there are really active communities on Connect as well. And then we have special interest groups, which Caroline spoke and Neri spoke about before. Can I get the next slide, please? Here's the IMarEST Learning, which is the courses that we have, and the CPD hub that I've been talking about as well. This is really good. It's really useful. It's just been redone, so it's brand new. There's loads of courses that are relevant to, science and engineering, but there's also courses relevant to stuff like DEI and management and dealing with ethics in the workplace. So there's loads of really good courses on there, and the CPD hub is really useful for tracking what you've been doing. And if you are getting professionally registered, you have to have CPD, and there's a chance you will be audited. So having it on here just takes away that the worry of, oh, have I done my CPD? Have I tracked it? And chances are you're probably doing a lot of CPD already. You're just not tracking it or not aware that you're doing it. So, for example, this webinar is CPD. If you take something from this, you learn something from it. You can record this as an hour of CPD, so long as your reflection's good. And I think there's a lot from here that you could add. Um, oh, can we get a link for that? Someone's asked for it to deposit a research paper. There should be a link somewhere on the website. Um, and then we've got a whole host of resources on here as well, that you can access. So I would recommend having a look when you've signed up. You can access the CPD Hub with any membership level, student, associate, member, fellow. So if you signed up for his free student membership earlier, go have a look, go play around with the CPD Hub and see what you think. Can I get the next slide, please, Caroline? So yeah, we spoke about the mentoring platform earlier. This again is really new. I think it came out in November last year. And it's really good for people who want to get into the industry and maybe are not in an area where there's a lot of people who are doing the same thing as them and they need to connect with somebody who can help them. Again, it's the idea that we're trying to make it as accessible and connectable as possible. So this is all online. And what will happen is you'll go on, you create a profile. So you'll have to create it even though you have a profile on our website, you still need to create a profile with your details, and it will ask, what you want, and what you want to achieve, and details about where you are in your career and what you're doing. And then it'll give you a whole host of potential mentors to match with based on what you've put into that when you created your account. You can then pick one that you want to be your mentor, and you can actually set how you meet, how often you meet, um, um, and the goals that you want to achieve out of it. So there are two or three different goal setting functions on there that you can use to help take that next step in your career. You can also sign up to be a mentor if you wanted to, if you're a bit further on in your career and want to help others. Again, really good CPD if that's something that you wanted to do. But yeah, when we say that you set up how you meet, it's because you can, if you don't want to meet someone with a video call, you can set up just an audio call, or you can actually just meet on email, which might help if you're in the field or offshore and it's really tough to schedule actual video calls. Can I get the next slide, please? I think Neeru touched on a lot of this stuff earlier, but I will talk about it again. So we accredit degrees. When you see here accreditation, education and training, we accredit degrees, and we accredit CPD and even graduate schemes to show that they're at a certain standard. And we can also help then provide feedback to universities or companies on how to maintain that standard or get to a certain standard. And we also have various grants and awards available for those in the marine sector to show that they're at a certain level or to help them with their research or their goals. So we do have various research grants, student bursaries, and things like that you can apply for. There's already a link in there from earlier, but we can send it again if it's lost in all the other links. We also restarted the Certificate of Excellence with the Nautical Institute. This is for to show that certain courses are at a certain level, even if we're not accrediting them against the Engineering Council or Science Council standards. So this is for global courses to show that they are at a level that we deem excellent. And that's done with RENA. Can I get the next slide, please? No. Volunteering opportunities. There are loads of volunteering opportunities. The IMarEST is basically propped up hugely by our volunteers. Niru does loads of it for us. And it's great CPD. It's great to give back to the industry. And it's great to give back to the IMarEST. There are various different things you can do. You can write and research papers. You can do that through SIGs, or we have ways you can get published with us as well. You can help organize or present at events. We have people who go and do talks like this to unis on behalf of the IMarEST who are members or student members of the IMarEST, which is really good for your CPD, and it also helps us as well, obviously. And then you can help with the peer review assessments that I spoke about earlier. So you can become an interviewer or you can become someone who does the desk-based assessments for applications, as well as the accreditations that we mentioned in the slide before. Volunteers do that as well. And sometimes, that can get you to some cool places. I mean, they're accrediting a degree in, I think it's Trinidad. They've been to Spain, they're going to, members are going to Croatia to accredit a degree there. So it can get you to some cool places volunteering with the IMarEST. There's loads of different things you can do there. Great networking, great to meet people in the industry who might be in a different field or a different niche to yourself. So yeah, loads of benefits behind volunteering there. Can I get the next slide, please? And our student sections are similar to the branches that Caroline mentioned earlier, but these are just for students. So it's really good for networking with students in a region that you're in. We currently have them in Canada, Egypt, Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK, and the UK and the USA. But it's actually really easy to set up a student section. You just need to reach out to us on email. We'll send you a document of what to do, and you then declare your interest, and then we can help you with the next steps. And they're really good to get together with other students, help each other with those studies or the next step after, and you can build collections in there that will probably go with you for the rest of your career because this is for the people who are just starting off. It's for the next generation. So yeah, if you're interested in starting one or joining one when you're a student, reach out to us and we can help you get involved with that. Can I get the next slide, please? See your future. This is currently changing a little bit. The idea is this is for the people who are this is for the next generation of the marine industry. Sorry guys, I've just broken something. It's for the next generation of the marine industry. It's for the people who want to take that next step, and we want to help you take that next step. So we can help you by goodness, what have I done? We can help you by publishing your work or putting stuff that you've done on social media like LinkedIn. I think we're on Instagram as well. So you can get exposure in various different channels. And we want to give you volunteering opportunities and opportunities to grow professionally through the See Your Future campaign, which I think is currently being redone and revamped as well. So should be a lot more active in the future as well. I think that's my final slide. So I think we'll move on to the next one, which is a few QR codes and emails.
Yes, I'll just help with a bit of extra context about our See Your Future brand. So the See Your Future group is again a group of volunteers that want to help students progress from academia into that professional industry. So they often attend career fairs at universities around the globe. And they also produce a lot of materials for your use. So these are actually freely available on our website. You don't have to be a member to access them. But there are things, I think Niru mentioned, career matrices, which have been produced by other members. So specific ones on biofouling careers, marine mammal observer careers. And we also have lots of case studies, so interviews that we've done with people in various different careers to see how they got to where they are today. And we've also developed career pathways, and these are specifically designed for a certain career path that you want to go into. And it tells you step by step what qualifications you might need, what resources you might need to utilize, and how to get there, essentially. So that's what the sort of See Your Future brand is for, is there to support you in your career development and help you throughout your career. So you can find all of those materials on our website under the See Your Future page, which I think has already been linked in the chat. So as Byron mentioned, this is our final slide. So it draws us to the close of the webinar after the questions. And I think if you have a burning question that we've not answered, and you come up with it after the webinar, please email one of these email addresses and we can be in touch with you. And we also have a QR code here which just links to our website, which I think we've linked a million times on the chat already. So if you haven't seen it, you can scan the QR code. But yeah, I think there are a few questions on the chat. Let me just have a look. I'm assuming that's PhD student not able to be a member. So if you're a PhD student, you qualify for student membership, which is free. So you, like Byron said, you don't need to provide any sort of documentation that you're a PhD student. You just need to let us know that you are studying, and you can apply for free membership.
If you also, as a PhD student, if you also wanted to be a normal member or an associate member, you can as well.
Yeah.
So for that one, it's kind of like a what do you want to get out of it? Because you can apply for an associate member or membership as a PhD student because you've probably been in the industry for a while. But if you can also apply for the free student membership.
Yeah. There's a
The
question
fresh
about would it be
graduate, that's where you
possible.
can apply for the early careers program, which I think we linked in there. So you can get it for the first year, depending on where you are, it's between £19 and £38, and then it goes up gradually over the next 5 years.
Caroline, we've got a question here. Well,
Um,
there's two questions. First one is, if I become an early career associate, out of the events I could attend worldwide, could I attend to any free of charge or only the ones in the country I'm registered for? And there's a second question, do you have to be a member to volunteer with the IMarEST? So those are two questions from the same person.
You do have to be a member to volunteer. It's considered a benefit of membership because it's good CPD. So yeah, you will have to be a member of some level to volunteer. About the events, Caroline, I'll
Just
leave that one to you.
Just to reiterate as well, the CPD, that's continuous professional development. So this ongoing development that you yourself are responsible for. And this is through everything from attending webinars to attending short courses to you doing a degree to you just doing learning activities, whether you're attending conferences, etc. This is all you. How you're doing this, and this is you track this through this, and this is how you develop professionally and acquire new skills, and so on. So that helps.
Yeah, so just as well, the first part of your question, if you became an early career associate, are the events you could attend worldwide? We do have events globally, so in lots of countries around the world. If you are a member, you can attend any IMarEST event. It's not going to be funded by us. So if you wanted to attend a conference, for example, in France and you are from India, you can, absolutely, and you can attend as a member of the IMarEST, but it's not something that we would pay for your flights, for example. But you absolutely can. If there's a conference happening in another country, We also host things like a Future Leaders Forum, which is an event to sort of help future leaders in the name. If that's happening in a country next door to you, then you're absolutely free to go as an IMarEST member.
It's worth
Byron,
noting
we've
as
got,
well, Caroline,
go
just
ahead.
worth noting with regards to the funding and awards programs, though. So although we're not paying for people to go to attend events, you can specifically apply for an award grant to attend something if you put in an application. If it's, for example, to attend the UN Ocean Decade Conference in Rio, and there's a certain amount of money available in that award, you can apply for that. And if you put the reasons and what you hope to get from it in terms of professional development, whether it's a student award or so on, and then you can work on applying for it that way. That's not to say you'll definitely get it, but that's also an option for you there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Nero. Byron, we've got a question about a career changer who graduated 3 years ago. They've been working in
Hmm.
hospitality and they want to apply for a membership. Would the reference have
Hmm.
to be an ocean professional or can it be just any professional reference?
It would depend on the grade of membership that you're going for. I think if you're applying for the early career associate, I'm reading this now. You said you graduated 3 years ago. So you could apply for the stage three of the early careers associate. I think then the referee, so long as it's still a professional referee and they're aware of your application, it's okay if they're not necessarily within the industry. If you're applying for higher grades, member, fellow, they would need to be in the industry because they need to be not just aware of your application, but be able to vouch for the seniority that you're in. But for early careers associate, I think it would be okay so long as it's a professional referee like a manager, that would be fine.
Okay, Brill. Um, we've got the next one from Hong Kong Police Force, Marine Region.
Mm.
Master's degree in sustainability and environmental data analysis. Is there any solutions to further development or contribute to the sector within my place or remotely? We have just set up an FNGO sort of, it's almost like a branch, but it's sort of a separate entity within China. So there is a branch, or there will be events happening in China that you can partake in, so in person, but also the things like all of our webinars, a lot of our networking events, they tend to be in person, but the webinars and all of the lectures, even the special interest group committee meetings, they all happen online. So even if you are in a country where there's not a local branch, you still have online opportunities that are very accessible and can still be counted as Byron mentioned, continuous professional development. And all of our resources, like our journals, our Connect platform, they are all online. So even if you aren't able to make something in person, there are still opportunities available for you.
Yeah,
And
we
just
just started our first round of applications with the FNGO in China, so that will become more active probably within the year. So watch this space.
Well,
just to mention, just with regards to how, for example, the SIGs function as well. So like as an example, the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group. So we have our active committee. So if you're interested in joining the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group, you could join our committee, and with that, you could put forward ideas to organize events. So you could take the reins on that as well. If you wanted to organize a webinar or a seminar, if you wanted to do a talk at a local school, you could be the one pushing that forward on the committee. You would organize it. You would get support from the committee. You would get support from the IMarEST. The IMarEST have an incredible events team as well as Caroline helping on this stuff as well. So there is a lot of support available. So you can, if depending on where you are, for example, the Marine Mammal Special Interest Group, our committee and our membership base is international. So we're not all based in the UK. We're based all over from Canada to South America to Africa and more. So there's lots of opportunities for that. And again, as Caroline and Baron mentioned, these events can go online and you don't need to have that geographical like fix that it needs to be in one place. So lots of opportunity there.
yeah. Um, I'm not sure how much time we have left for more questions. Are we okay for time?
Yeah, we're fine. If you
Well,
want to keep answering, and there is one in the main chat. I don't know if you saw from Joshua that says, "How do you set up a student section in your country if there are none?"
yes, absolutely. So we have a form that people can fill out.
Yeah.
Ten often our student sections tend to be affiliated with a learning institution. So if that's a apprenticeship college, or if that's a cadet, a training college as well, or a university. you can absolutely fill out the form. If you gather a few people who can be on the committee as well, we tend not to let one person who has an idea build something just because it won't be sustainable. But if there are a group of you that are interested in making a student section and collaborating with one of the local branches, that's absolutely possible, and we really encourage that. So if you want to set up one, we can send out a form. You can also find it on our website if you scan the QR code and search student section. We've got a couple more questions in the Q&A. One about PhD students. Again, if you're a PhD student, you can apply for student membership or the normal regular grade. And you want to know if it's possible to begin a marine career. So yeah, we have a lot of resources available if you are just at the beginning of your journey. Like I mentioned before, those career pathways, the career matrices, they really set out step by step how you would achieve to get into, for example, marine mammal observing as a career. Can we be linked up with the University Institute Associate for scholarships on master's PhD programs? So we do have affiliations with a lot of institutions through our accreditations. So some courses will have our badge on them to sort of showcase that we have approved it as a really good course and the one that will contribute towards your professional registration. So we do have quite close links with universities. If you are applying, however, I think the question is that if you're applying for a course, you do need to go straight to the academic institution. You can't come through us. I think that's what the answer to the question is. I think that's everything. Do you accept interns? So our marine jobs platform does have some opportunities like internships on it. As an institute ourselves, we do not personally accept interns. We're quite a small team in our actual offices. But there might be an opportunity that arises either through if you apply to be a mentor, there might be opportunities, a mentee. There might be opportunities within your mentor's company. Or if you apply and become a part of the special interest group committee, you may meet somebody who has an opportunity for you that way. So there are some ways that you can find opportunities like that. We don't offer them ourselves. I think that's pretty much all of the questions now. Oh, there's one more. A question for Niru. Is your platform also directed towards people looking to get into educational outreach, specifically directed towards coastal protection and ecotourism?
I would say we're open to engaging with any kind of science communication and outreach aspects. We're not specifically dedicated to coastal protection or ecotourism, for example. But if these are areas that you're predominantly interested in and you have an expertise in, and you wanted to bring that into the conversations with whether it's a special interest group or other area within the IMarEST membership, then there's opportunity for you to do that. Really, the IMarEST is made up of special subject matter experts. So everybody who's a member is an expert in their own area, and that's what's unique about the institute itself, is that it's bringing together well over 12,000 international experts, and that ability to network and share expertise in each and everyone's areas. And there's lots of room for collaboration and outreach on those. So I hope that helps. What was the second question? Yeah. Are there current opportunities within the marine mammal section you're in with event management or outreach coordination? Working on an educational kids book series directed towards marine wildlife protection, and always looking for closer links with research institutes. So as I mentioned earlier, the way the SIGs function is that the SIGs are operated by chairs and honorary secretaries and committee members, and together we put together agendas, decide what we're going to organize. Do we want to do a publication? Do we want to write articles for the marine professional? Do we want to write blogs? Do we want to do a seminar for universities? Do we want to work on a collaborative project to improve international standards in something? These are all, it's within our remit. The oceans, the sky is your limit, you know. So whatever you want to work on, if you have the passion to do it and an expertise, then you can bring that into whatever area of the IMarEST, as long as it's relevant within the offshore marine blue economy sectors. There's definitely scope within there to do that. I hope that answers your question.
Got one more now.
Yeah, one more. What are the main benefits for early researchers? If you work on the conservation of dolphins in Bangladesh, what is the role of IMarEST? So I'll just head back to our slide that we have with all of these on here. So there are so many things that the IMarEST can provide. It's almost we tend to say it's what you put in is what you get out. So if you become a member of the Institute, just by putting it next to your name, that might be useful for you. But a lot of our members really find the benefit where they actually put the effort in to get involved, get in volunteering. If you have an event happening near you, go out to that event, find somebody that you are really interested to talk to, and an opportunity may arise from that. We offer publications, books, journals, publicity through conference proceedings, that kind of thing. We also have our own digital archive full of journals, academic papers, books, which you can access if you are a member. We also have our magazine, so if you want to learn how to write for the public, you can do that. You can do that form of science communication. You can link up with people in your industry. On our IMarEST Connect platform, you can link up with other people who work in marine mammal conservation. You can look up webinars. You can do courses on our Learning Hub to do with your work. So many more opportunities. I think we've run through most of them today, and just so it is what. It's what you put in is what you will get out of it. And also, additionally, if you want to get involved more in the UN Ocean Decade and through into policy regulation and influencing change, that is also something that we facilitate and we actively encourage people to get involved in because, the marine sector, the ocean belongs to all of us, but it's really important that those in the marine sector, we're the ones representing the space. And if you work in the ocean, you want to be the ones to protect it and to be the ones to use it in the most sustainable way that we can. And the way we can use that is through policy regulation and influencing change. So many things that we've just said, and I hope we haven't overwhelmed people. But I think that's all of the questions that we have. Like we mentioned, if there's something burning that you don't want to ask on the chat today, but you also think of later, we have all of our emails listed here and also our website. So thank you so much for listening. I think that's everything. Yeah, thank you, Niru, and thank you, Byron. And yeah, I think that's come to a close.
Thank you so much to our speakers and especially for staying on a little bit longer to answer everyone's questions. Somebody did ask if there was going to be the slides available, and this webinar, the recording is going to be posted on our ECOP YouTube in a few days to a week. So if you want to watch it again or watch any of our other webinar episodes, it will be on that link that I just put into our chat. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Caroline, Nero, Byron. That was an amazing presentation, and there's so many opportunities. So that's really exciting to all of the ECOPs at many different levels throughout our careers. So thank you, and thank you to our audience and everyone for participating. And if you want to see more of these webinar episodes, please again follow our LinkedIn page and social media, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or exciting topic ideas for future webinars with us as well. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you in the next episode.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Are we offline?
Okay, I'll go ahead and end it now. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. That was great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.